The novelist tries ever so hard. Zarastro's going further in front. Snippets is all over. Zarastro, too good for them. 2.5.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 380. Proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group as always. Today we'll preview our runners on Saturday at Eagle Farm, as well as a couple heading down to Sydney with Pembrey and Zarastro heading down for a couple of feature races at Randwick. But firstly, good morning Tony. It was a good weekend. Last Saturday got a couple of winners at Doomben, but pretty much everything that went around ran well.
Yeah, good morning Matt, good morning everyone. It was a pretty good weekend. We had a good day. Could have been a little bit better if the other results might have went our way, but look, overall the team's racing really well. We spoke about it going into the meeting. Off-season racing's well and truly, underway here in Queensland as the carnivals are getting, starting to get really heating up down south, Melbourne and Sydney. So, no, it's been good for us here. The off-season racing, another couple of winners yesterday, a couple of winners last Saturday, and hopefully we can steer you into a few at Eagle Farm this Saturday.
Before we get into our preview of this weekend's runners, we'd just like to announce the winner of our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize of racing package at the Novotel Brisbane Airport, including overnight accommodation, buffet breakfast, sparkling wine, transfers to the races. Tony, the winner is...
Rodney Castles.
How good.
It's a good prize. This is a cool prize. So, well done, Rodney. This is a prize you will certainly like.
A representative from the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in touch with you, Rodney. Congratulations. Now, just before we move on to the previews for the weekend, just want to give a shout out to an important race day function coming up on QTIS Jewel Day at the Gold Coast on Saturday, March the 14th. It's a well-groomed racing charity function, raising vital funds for the Dancing CEOs. Great function for a great cause.
Yeah, both good causes. Well-groomed's been going for a little while now, and it's a great charity. Great charity event. Mary Lou Condon's, I think, running the show, are in charge of it this year, which is good. She's a nice, lovely lady. Dancing CEO is a really good cause. It's to help support women's domestic violence, etc., etc. So it's a massive fundraiser a little bit later in the year, and the well-groomed crew are tipping into that cause. So it's a great cause. It's down the Gold Coast. Lockie's got all the details on the screen. Buy some tickets, get down there. It's QTIS Jewel Day. It's a really good day's racing. It's a Metro Saturday at the coast. If you've got nothing else planned for March 14, that's where you should be. Get the tickets, it'll be a ripping day.
We'll have a bit more information on that on our Facebook page, Now we'll start on our preview for our runners. We'll start at Randwick. We'll have two runners down there on Saturday. The rail's in the true metre position. Track is currently a good 4. Bit of weather forecast today and tomorrow, but it looks more promising than it did earlier in the week.
I'm going to give up guessing the weather. I've been watching this weather chart since last week, and it continues to change. So look, we'll just see how this weather evolves. There's not a whole bunch forecast for Sydney. There's actually more forecast, I think, to come here with this weather front that is coming from the west, north, and the west coming down. So we'll see what Randwick brings. But I know Randwick could do with a little bit of rain. They've had a really dry period and hot weather earlier in the week. So whatever rain they get, I'm sure this track is going to end up beautiful for Saturday. They do a great job with their track down there, Navesh and the team.
The first race we'll preview is race 4, the Group 2 Sweet Embrace Stakes for the 2-year-old fillies over 1,200 metres. We will have Pembrey, our little friend, behind us here. We'll jump from barrier 6, James McDonald on board, and we'll carry 56.5 kilos. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $2.35 for the win and $1.30 for the place. Made her race day debut a fortnight ago, was dominant. She's an exciting filly, and she deserves a crack at one of these good races down there.
Yeah, she does. She's done everything right, all prep from the first sort of jump out of trial at Deegan to the barrier trial at Doomben. Then 4 days later she won and ran terrific time at Eagle Farm. On a day it was hard to do that. The track was quite affected. She's had a good time of it since, obviously with this race in mind. We've kept her really happy and fresh. She went to Embrook for 4 days and then back in and done a nice piece of work here Tuesday. So gets on the truck tonight, Thursday night, heads down to Sydney and she'll make her presence felt, I'm sure, on Saturday. It's an interesting race. She's got such good gate speed, but we've got such a good jockey on board in J-Mac. I'm sure he'll have her where he needs to have her to be hard to beat. She looks the leader for me, but if James wants something else to kick up and happy to take a trail, she's so versatile. She's an adaptable filly, but she does possess very good gate speed. She relaxes lovely mid-race, and her pedigree suggests 1,200 is where she should be starting at. So the 1,000 metre races are really, on pedigree, look too short for her. So this distance should be right in her sweet spot.
The second of our runners we'll preview will be in race 9, the Group 3 Liverpool City Cup over 1,300 metres. We will have Big Zarastro, 56 kilos with Angela Jones on board, jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $11 for the win and $3.40 for the place. Second up for this prep, he was tough first up for a 1 length third there 4 weeks ago in the Group 3 JRA plate. Gets a good weight for him. A few others roll forward, but he looks to get a nice time up in front there.
There's a bit of pressure in the race, but I don't think there's anything underneath him as quick as him. He'll step out and get rolling. The instructor's drawn wide. He's going to be a pain against it outside of us. But one thing about Zarastro now, off his first up run, he's a lot better going into this. He's always vulnerable fresh up. The improvement he's taken out of that trip and run is phenomenal. He looks brilliant. You'll see a better version of Zarastro on Saturday. 1,300, if they pressure too much, well, they're all going to be vulnerable late. But look, I think he's the right sort of horse to run well here. A little bit of cut in the ground will help him, won't hurt him. He's certainly there to run well. But Zarastro, his stats show you he's a vastly better horse second up, and he's a lot fitter going into this.
Now we'll move on to our preview of our runners at Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail is in the half-metre position. Track is currently a soft 5. We mentioned it before, but as showers forecast today and tomorrow, hopefully all fine by race day on Saturday. How do you think this track is going to play? Eagle Farm or
It'll play off fence. It'll play off fence. I'm not too worried about the rain. It's holding more moisture than it used to, this track. So what we used to see where it would just drain straight through, heavy rain will, but if there's rain lingering around, this track will be affected. It's holding a lot more moisture than what it used to. The profile of this track is changing, and for the better. It means it's a better track year round, but it certainly won't be as good with the rain as what we initially had ages ago when it used to be rock hard all the time. So it will hold some moisture, this track. So I'd be working on a track, if this rain does come, in the soft range.
The first race we'll preview is race 3, the QTIS Jewel Prelude for the 2-year-old colts and geldings over 1,000 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. The first of those we'll preview is Boomtowns. We'll carry 57.5 kilos, Ben Thompson on board and jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.50 for the win and $1.45 for the place. An impressive written tycoon colt won a public trial a fortnight ago ahead of Martis, who came out and ran really well last week. How do you think it sets up for him on debut?
Well, the barrier is tricky. There is a bit of speed, but he's a quick horse. He can get out and find a spot. So we won't overthink things too much. We'll just jump and roll. I wouldn't care if a couple go and he gets into a 1-1. I think chasing would do him better than being left leading. His ears are just forward. He looks at everything when he's like that. I've got nowhere near the bottom of this horse. He's a real horse that's just continuing to improve. So I don't know how good he is yet, but I know he is good, and he'll run really well.
The second of our runners we'll preview for this race is Final Crusade. We'll carry 57.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney on board and jump from barrier 3. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4.20 for the win and $1.55 for the place. A well-bred Spirit of Boom colt out of our stakes winner, Pure Perfection. Been going really well at the trials, had a wide run last start, but has always shown us really good potential here at home.
Yeah, ignore the last trial. He's a smart colt. His jump out before that was brilliant. He'll be given a bit of a kick and roll forward here. He's got really good speed, big action, nice horse. He'll handle cut in the ground. He'll race forward to the speed, and he's going to make his presence felt. He's a good colt, above average. He's a full to Outback Barbie. That won't count for much come Saturday, but he's a good horse. He's shown us that all the way through, and he'll race really, really well. With good respect for the favourite. It's already won a race and won easy, but I think my 2 colts are going to be formidable opposition. Not much between them, these 2. They're used to working together. They know each other well. I think they're both above average. I'm going to sit on the fence of who's who in the zoo with these 2, but they're both going to run really, really well. Maybe the weather, if it does get wet, the other horse being by Written Tycoon, I think possibly favours Final Crusade.
The next race we will preview is race 4, the QTIS Jewel Prelude for the 2-year-old fillies. We will have Night Market in this race. We'll carry 56.5 kilos, Emily Lang on board and jump from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $2.30 for the win and $1.24 for the place. A filly by our Group 1 winner, Jonka. She was really impressive in her most recent trial. Really excited to see her debut on Saturday.
Really good filly, well above average, drawn good. Emily knows her well. Fast filly. She's hard to fault. She's done everything right. Not a whole lot between probably her and Pembrey. She's seen that at the trials. We've seen that in track work since. She's a real deal, and she'll step out and she's going to prove in my opinion, testing material. I know the horse of Vanabelle's and Rob's, the one the other day at the midweeks, is clearly the one to beat. It was dominant. But this filly is a lot different to the horse that she met that day, and I think she'll stand up and show that Saturday.
Very good. The next race we'll preview is race 5, the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,800 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Brindavan. We'll carry 60.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney on board and jump from barrier 2. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3 for the win and $1.45 for the place. It was an eye-catching winner 2 starts ago over the mile. A tough run last start for second. Out to the 1,800 metres. Has to carry the weight, but rock hard fit and the low draw certainly helps.
Low draw's a huge plus. The other day, there was just a bit of skirmishing early in the race, and he's got himself fired up. He's brought his own undoing. His work's since been great. These horses like this, European horses, spacing their runs is no drama. So the big engine, he just gets a lovely run here. He should be able to jump and just settle. He won't be far off speed. He should be able to just settle down on that fence, relax. We want to come off fence at some stage, just how the track will play. But the main thing for him is he executes the first half of this race well, which I think he will. And if he does, he's definitely the testing material. That horse has come out and won again since to beat him. It's in great form, Noble Conqueror. I think he's got the right form around him, this bloke, and Ryan knows him well. His work since has been exemplary. He'll be very, very hard to beat.
The second of our runners we'll preview is Pure Alpha. We'll carry 57.5 kilos. CJ Graham on board and jump from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $9.50 for the win and $2.90 for the place. A newcomer to the stable, just settled in here. Hasn't won in a while, but brings pretty good form from Sydney and Melbourne. Any rain certainly helps him as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think cutting the ground's his friend. He definitely come in very fit from Chris's. Chris Waller had him, and he's come really fit, really well. So I've kept him going in prep. We normally don't do that. We normally give him a break and start fresh. But I'm keen enough to keep him going. His work on Tuesday was great. He feels good. His action's good. And you know, those 78s in Melbourne and Sydney are a lot stronger at the staying trips than here as a rule. I think he's over the odds. Cutting the ground, he should be a lot closer to Brindavan. I've got Brindavan on top of my 2, but I think he'll run really well, Pure Alpha, and he's going to be a really nice horse here for Brisbane.
The next race we'll preview is race 6, the open handicap over 1,600 metres. We will have Queen Air in this race, 53 kilos with Daniel Moore on board, jump from barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $31 for the win and $6 for the place. She's going really well here at home. Just had a really tough run first up. We'll forget that run. Looks she should hopefully find a good spot, finds a nice starting point from the 1,600 metres. Hopefully she can settle in the run. How do you think it settles?
Yeah, just got to ride it to relax. Ben, good
Not
ride
his
on
best day.
Pembrey, and an absolute stinker on this the other day. So it did just be ridden back a bit quiet. I think Dan will suit her. She's a very headstrong mare, but she was going super going into it. Just an average steer, really. Just go back, get some cover, relax, and run on. She'll be raced a lot better than the odds suggest. She's actually going very good this mare.
The next race we will preview is race 7, the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,200 metres. We will have Savagery Vibe in this race, 56 kilos with Ryan Maloney on board, jumps from barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $2.70 for the win and $1.45 for the place. Great to see her salute for her first win for the stable last start, this track and trip, given a peach by Maloney. Looks to get a good run from barrier 7 and should enjoy any cut out in the ground as well.
Yeah, agreed. Going really, really well. Gets a lovely run for her racing style. Probably, just midfieldish, covered up. But getting back a lot further than I anticipated the last 2 runs. But she is in really good shape. I think she'll run really well. The market's got her on top, and I can't see why she couldn't. I think Maloney knows her well. He's down to 56 to ride her. He tells you what he thinks of her as well. She's exceptionally hard to beat. Probably one of the better chances I got in the day, really.
The next race we'll preview is race 8, the QTIS Jewel Prelude for the 3-year-olds, a quality handicap over 1,000 metres. We'll have Forgotten Spirit in this race. We'll carry 54.5 kilos. Daniel Moore on board. Tricky draw, barrier 13. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $6 for the win and $2.15 for the place. She was 3rd in the Magic Millions Sunlight Constellation. Gave her a quick little freshen up and a trial. Trialled well over 1,000 metres a fortnight ago. Tricky from the draw, but looks plenty of speed in this race as well.
Yeah, I think we've got to ride it quiet here. I want to try and get her to the duel in a fortnight. I think trying to kick her out from the outside draw is much help to us here. A lot of pressure. Typical 3-year-old 1,000 metre race in Queensland. We're going to go flat out. So I think we let that race unfold, get back off it and look to be strong. Particularly the way Eagle Farm will race. It'll race off fence in the straight. The barrier mightn't be that bad with the amount of pressure in it, but we're certainly riding her quieter rather than more aggressive from the jump.
The next race we'll preview is race 9, the open handicap over 1,200 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Hell, will carry 55.5 kilos. Emily Lang on board and jump from barrier 2. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $5.50 for the win, $2 for the place. Been really consistent the past 3 starts, all over 1,200 metres, just way too much pressure last start. Doesn't look as much pressure on paper this time.
Yeah, I think M back onto Plush, she knows him really well. Look, he looks to get a nice time in front, but I thought that the other day and nothing went right at all. He's had a few runs, he's racing, he's tough on himself the way that he races, so as long as I've got another run left in him, he feels like I do here. He looks and feels fantastic, so we've done all we can. I just hope that run the other day hasn't taken too much out of him under racing conditions. He looks to map well, and a little bit of cut in the ground would suit him at the soft level. He's awfully well placed.
The next horse we'll preview is Brereton on the quick backup. Will carry 52 kilos. Ben Thompson on board, jumps from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $6 for the win, $2.10 for the place. He was really good last start at Ipswich, hitting the line really well. Should appreciate getting up to 1,200 here. Looks to get a good run just on the back of the speed.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to love 1,200 the way he's racing. I know as a younger horse, when Moods had him, got him out to 1,400 at one stage and he raced well. So I can't see why the way he's relaxing and finishing off, no gear in him, all that sort of stuff. He's really enjoying it. I think he's in a good spot, this horse. 8-day backup for a horse the shape that he is. I think it's ideal. Soft tracks as a friend to him. Just doesn't want it heavy. Geez, he's over the odds. 52 on his back.
Nothing there, yeah.
No weight. He dropped significantly on what he carried at Ipswich. You know, especially when you get on these softer tracks, he can posse up enough, and I think he'll sprint pretty hard. I don't know if there's as much between these two as the market probably suggests. Well, there's not much between them anyways. What are they, $5.50 and $6? So yeah, no, they're pretty close in the market. I thought Hell might start shorter, but I think Brereton's a big danger here.
Yep. Can you split them at all? Or?
Oh, look, if Hell hadn't had so many hard runs, I'd think this race on paper is his to take. But I know Brereton the other day, he really savaged that line at Ipswich, and if he can do the same at Eagle Farm, especially with a bit of cut in the ground, he can really improve. I'm going to sit on the fence.
The last race we'll preview is race 10. Benchmark 85 handicap over 1,400 metres. We'll have up to 4 runners in this race. The first of those we'll preview is Johnny Rambo. Will carry 59 kilos. CJ Graham on board and jump from barrier 7. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4 for the win and $1.85 for the place. Ever consistent, was close again last start at this track and trip. Drops in grade this week. CJ benefits from having the ride last start. How do you think it sets up for him?
Well, he reacted well to CJ the other day, and I think he maps good here. This is a messy race. Holy hell. They're going to come from everywhere here. And he's just going to jump well, hopefully, and just find a nice spot forward to midfield. And, you know, he got to the front probably a touch early for himself the other day, but with 55 as opposed to the 60 the horse that was chasing him, he was probably there to win. First go at the 1,400 on the big track. I think he did a good job. This is down in grade, this race. He's very well placed. I'm surprised he's $4.50.
The next runner we'll preview is Castillian. Will carry 58 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board, jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $10 for the win and $3.40 for the place. He was okay first up at this track and trip. Had a nice tick over trial in between. Should enjoy any cut out the ground as well.
He'll love it. Yeah, he'll love cutting the ground. That's what he wants. Blinkers on, had that run under his belt. Just didn't let down the really firm track the other day, which doesn't suit him. Eagle Farm with cut out, second up, big improver, trialled in between. Want to ride him positively, put him right there on Saturday. He's a massive improver. He ran well first up, but just peaked late and looked after himself on the firm track. Soft track, a different story, this horse.
The next runner we'll preview is Free Carry. Will carry 57 kilos. Emily Lang on board, unfortunately drawn barrier 18. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $27 for the win and $7 for the place. Just probably didn't enjoy that race day rain last start on his first up run. Tricky from the draw for him.
Yeah, I'm not loving him from the draw. We might find something else, I think, for him. I don't love the run he gets here.
And the last horse we'll preview is Ludovisi. Okay, 54.5 kilos. Daniel Moore on board and jump from barrier 12. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $23 for the win and $6 for the place. First up for this preparation, did win the first up 2 preps ago over a similar trip. Looks enough speed in this race for him, and he'll enjoy the cut out the ground as well.
Yeah, he's beat these sort of horses before. Loves cutting the ground. He's ready to go first up. I can't see why he doesn't run really well here, this horse. He's probably way over the odds for mine, particularly if it rains. You know, soft ground's his friend. He can run really well. I don't know if he can win first up, because this might be a testing 1400, but he can run well. And he's a horse that obviously runs a mile quite easily. So I think Dan knows him well. So he run better than the odds. I'd have him in exotics.
Out of the 4,
Johnny Rambo's the one. Castillian a big danger, especially with cutting the ground second up, under his belt.
And now we are into the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Tony, who was your best Metro winning chance on Saturday?
I'll toss up between the girls. It'll be between the 3 of them, really. It'll be Pembrey and Sydney, Night Market here and Savagery Vibe. I'll go Night Market.
Night Market, beautiful. And Tony, who was your best each way chance for the weekend?
I'll go between 2 of the boys, Zarastro at Randwick and Castillian, and I'll stick with closer to home, Castillian. But I do think Pembrey can win in Sydney, and I think Zarastro can run top 3. So I think Castillian runs top 3. Night Market wins here.
Very good. And Tony, best of the provincials, we've got 1 possibly at Ballina Friday and 1 or 2 at the Gold Coast on Saturday.
Yeah, I think Leah on Boomtowns Saturday. I think he can bounce back.
Finds the right grade down there.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
Track work this week. Obviously had a big Tuesday as always. Anything catch your eye at track work on Tuesday?
I thought Zarastro was brilliant the way he controlled his gallop. I love the work of the 2 fillies, Night Market and Pembrey, worked together Tuesday morning. They were really good. They weren't out there to overextend themselves. How they did it and how they pulled up was fantastic. And the 2 colts were good. Boomtowns and Final Crusade, they were brilliant. So, you know, the 4 2-year-olds that worked together were good, and Zarastro was great.
And Tony, we had a bunch go around at the trials on Tuesday. Anything catch your eye there for the punters to follow? Yeah,
I thought there was a couple of new horses to the yard trial quite good. Chantilly trialled really well. Still a work in progress. Good improvement to come with her, but she was good. Well, Braveheart was really good. Not ridden to his normal pattern either, so I thought he was good. There's a couple of new horses there, and there's quite a few more new horses to step out of the yard in the next month. So keep your eyes peeled for them coming up. But there's a few nice trial horses there Tuesday.
And now it is time for Cavs Corner for this week, proudly supported by Brisbane Airport Hotels Group as always. The old 1 leg out of 2 last week again. Let's head over to Cavs Corner for this week to see what his multi is for this weekend.
Welcome to Cavs Corner. No joy last week. This week we'll travel to Eagle Farm. I'm going to be game and bold. I'm going to go for the 2 2-year-olds. Final Crusade a win, and the Night Market a win. Gives you about $10.20 for the $1 unit. Good punting, guys.
So Tony, Cav has gone nice and early in the 2-year-olds. He's gone Final Crusade into Night Market, the old win-win.
Poor old 2-year-olds, poor old Final Crusade, one of them. This is not going to be good for the punters there. Maybe get Boomtowns, someone else back it. Geez, he's a 1-leg man, isn't he? Jeez. He's probably due, but to be fair, he's due for another one. When was your last one? Probably 6 or 8 weeks ago, something like that. Jeez.
Well, good luck to the 2 2-year-olds.
Very much so.
Tony, looks to be a good weekend. Obviously, got the 2 down in Sydney and then a good team here at Eagle Farm, as you mentioned, off-season racing. But we'll keep ticking over with a good, strong team. Yeah, and we got the English Premier Sale in Melbourne this weekend. I know John is already down there going through it. Andrew heads down on Friday. I'll be there at some stage, Sunday possibly, or Friday. So we want to be active at that sale as well. It's a good sale. It's proven a really good sale. It's like your version of classic sale, but in Melbourne. So we'll do our best to be active at that sale. There's some good studs down there that are breeding plenty of winners we want to try and support and get them in it, get some horses in our yard as well. So get in contact with Andrew if you're interested. This Premier Sale has got stronger and stronger each year. So it's a sale we'll be active at this weekend. So get in touch with Andrew, everyone. Good luck, guys. Cheers.